What's going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today is March 30th, 2020, and it is like day 16 or something of the quarantine. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I had to go out and just drive my car for, finally, for the first time in like 5 days. I've been cooped up in my room, editing and playing video games. I'm sure you guys are literally doing the same thing. So, at least we can understand each other. At least we know what it feels like. So anyways, I was driving and I was actually thinking, I've owned this car for about a year now. I think I've got a pretty solid idea about what it's like to own this car over the span of a year and, help you decide if it's going to be a good option for you in the future. If you don't own one of these or you just bought one of these and, you're doing some research, this is going to be a great video for you because I'm going to list out the different things that I think are good about this car and I think are bad about this car if you're going to own it for, a year plus. So without further ado, go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. Let's get into it. So first off, I wanted to start by going over the elephant in the room. Like, Johnny, you own a 350z Rev-up. Talk to us about the oil problem. If you have a Rev-up 350z, you probably have some oil issues. And it's not for all 350zs, but most 350z Rev-ups have some oil problems. I'm gonna explain a little bit about why they have these oil issues and what to look out for when you're buying a car that might have them and, if it's really a big deal or if it's really as big as a deal as people say it is. I'm gonna explain to you guys why I think it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal. So after doing a whole bunch of research and staring at my computer screen, scrolling through articles and forums for literally hours, I've come to the conclusion that I know why most 350z Rev-ups have this oil issue. So basically in the Rev-up, the bores are tapered and the 350z was designed with some pretty thin oil control rings, and sometimes the oil control rings don't seal properly because of the taper in the bores. That can be a huge reason why, oil starts burning. Another reason people are saying it is, or alternatively, is that they say the VVT they added to the exhaust side or the variable valve timing, they say that because there's extra vacuum on the exhaust side that it pulls oil up into your combustion chamber over time, and that could totally be part of the case. I think you can buy bigger rings to help with the sealing problem. After owning the car for a year, I can in fact say that specifically, yes, this car goes through much more oil than most cars I've ever owned or driven. On average, I put about half a quart every 2 weeks or about a full quart a month. That equates to about $5 a month. So, if you don't mind spending that extra $5 a month, it's like $60 a year. Now, the nice thing is, like I said, this doesn't affect all 350zs. So, just on the off chance you might have a Rev-up that doesn't have this issue, congratulations if you do. I am not one of them. So now that that's out of the way, I kind of wanted to go over like the daily driving or like the daily living with the 350z. Is it possible for you to own this car every day and be completely happy? I'm talking tires, gas, the fact that it's a two-seater, general maintenance, stuff like that. I have a little bit of camber all the way around, a little less in the front, a little more in the back. And I will say that is kind of an issue sometimes. I go through about a whole set of tires once a year, and that's a little bit more than the average person. I think the average person probably goes through tires 2 to 3 years. You can have a 350z without camber. That's also another expense you have to think about. The fact that this is a two-door sports car, can kind of make things difficult if you're having to like lug stuff around all the time, like furniture stuff. It might not be the best option for you. The hatchback nonetheless has a huge amount of space, more than enough for duffel bags and, backpack for school or groceries and stuff like that. Also, the fact that it has 2 seats. I have, friends, and a lot of my friends have their own cars, so we'll always like cruise in our own cars if we're heading somewhere. But, every now and then it is fun to, like, if we're going to Knott's Berry Farm or something, I kind of want to drive sometimes and I can't because I'm looking at another person in here. So, that's an issue. If you're buying a 350z, you're probably not super worried about the fact that there's only 2 seats. There's probably other reasons, like you're worried, like insurance and stuff like that. So Another thing is gas. I mean, this car is a V6, so it is a little bit more on gas, and also you have to put premium inside. So I don't know if you're used to putting in regular, but premium is usually about 30 cents on average a gallon more. So that's another thing. It's not too big of a deal, because if you think about it, if you really add it up in the end, you're talking like, I mean, what, $1 or $2 more in the end. So, and then kind of like lastly is like normal general wear. Like I was talking about, again, this car is almost 15 years old, so you're gonna have to replace stuff. Like the clutch might need to be replaced soon. You know, you gotta just do normal 15-year-old car stuff. So, I mean, the nice thing is that's basically it for me. I mean, I don't really have any more downsides I can think of. The car's quick, it's fun. Every time I get in it, do I have a huge smile on my face? Yes. Every time I get out, do I look forward to the next time I get to drive it? Yes. In the end, this is still a 300 horsepower Japanese sports car that you can bang through gears in and pick up for under or around $10,000. And I think it's a great option for anyone looking into getting into the Japanese sports car market. I would look soon though. Every single day, people add more and more mods to these cars. So if you're gonna look for a, you know, a nice clean option that has no mods on it, they are getting harder and harder to find every single day. So definitely keep that in mind. Anyways, that's basically it, you guys. I can't think of anything else really. I mean, I've owned the car for just over a year now, and I hope you guys kind of understand like where I'm at with this car. Will I get a different car someday? Probably. Is it gonna be because I don't like this car anymore? Probably not. Honestly, when I get rid of this car someday, it's gonna be really bittersweet. I got a lot of good memories in this car, unbelievably, even though I've only made 3 or 4 YouTube videos with it. But I'm gonna jump out and get some drone footage. It is super hot in here because I haven't had the AC on. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I really hope you liked it and you learned something. Please drop a thumbs up if you haven't already, and drop a comment or, you know, a question if you have any. I'll answer all of them. I literally will answer any questions you guys have and reply to all comments and stuff. So if you could please consider subscribing, that would be amazing. And I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the quarantine is over. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you all later. Peace out.